while I've got the mic, when we talked about, I guess, U.S. legislation, obviously, if you sort of read into it, you're starting to see sort of court cases lawsuits being filed in Europe where people are suing their governments, Americans are suing European governments on GDPR grounds for disclosure of financial information without authorization. What is realistically the outlook on the U.S. government movement? First of all, that's sticking. And the second thing, the U.S. government revisiting the taxation on citizenship versus residency conversation, right? It's us and Eritrea. And
I see there's absolutely no chance of them changing to residency-based taxation. And I think in terms of the court cases, in fact, and all these GDPR violations and all this stuff, when was the last time you didn't see the U.S. get their way?
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, it is £100 gorilla. And to add to what Jimmy said, the trend is that other governments are going in the direction of the U.S. So you may think the U.S. is the only one citizen-based taxation, but if you're from one of the big English-speaking countries, so Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, you see the same thing. There are fallback rules that are in play that mean that especially with Australia, I mean, Australia's like taking it to the next level. It's pretty easy to fall back. Even though you're not physically resident here, you've not been there for years, you may still be considered tax resident of Australia, Canada, depending on the situation. And we're seeing it on the continent as well. So I spent time in Southern Europe and in Spain. They have fallback rules. If you move to Dubai from Spain, you will be subject to taxes in Spain for a number of years because you've moved to a so-called tax haven. And Spain's not the only one. Other European countries, under certain circumstances, those fallback rules will apply as well.
And I would just add one more thing to that, which isn't on the citizenship-based taxation stuff, but a lot of the stuff that you're talking about with like the GDPR challenges to, the FATCA information flowing across borders and stuff. You also have to remember that there's also a huge piece of legislation called the Common Reporting Standard, CRS, which is basically FATCA for the rest of the world, right? And governments are getting tremendous benefit from that, to having insight of what their residents are doing in other countries. So I don't really see a court coming in and striking down FATCA information sharing when that government itself is probably sharing information pursuant to CRS.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.